Welcome back, everyone. I would like to remind you that if you want more information about all the bills that we are tracking, all you have to do is go to Facebook and search for AZRRT. That is our Facebook page. And every week I post there a call to action, as I call it, regarding the bills that are going to be coming up for hearings in the state legislature. Obviously, we do not look at all the bills. We pick the ones that we like, the ones that we think are more important, the ones that we think would have the greatest impact on people's lives. But we always welcome the suggestions from somebody. If you know of a bill that you think would be important enough to be considered, we welcome you letting us know. Also, for those people that wish to get more into this situation, they want to learn more about how to be more effective regarding the state legislature and legislatures in general, there are several articles that I have published in our website. And to reach our website, you go to azpeopleslobbyist.com, azpeopleslobbyist.com. You can learn there how to be more effective emailing legislators. You'll learn there how to know exactly how the bills go through the system. You can learn there how to use the request to speak system, which is a means by which you can actually, and this is crazy, but you can do this. You can actually testify at a committee hearing without actually being there. Mm-hmm. You can do this from the convenience of your home. And it tells you step by step how you can do this. So anyway, there's a wealth of information at that website.
There's another thing, Jose, that maybe they want to know, and that is that you can also watch the committee hearings on your computer at home. So they have the video feed that you can watch it from.
Correct. Yeah. All of the hearings are broadcast. Not only that, but they're also archived. So if you miss one, you can go back and actually watch the committee hearing. And in most cases, this comes very convenient. If you're suffering from insomnia, you can watch some of these committee hearings and it'll put you right to sleep. However, there are occasions in which there's fireworks, and you never can tell if there's going to be fireworks or not. But it's good to be on the watch for that. As we left the previous segment, we were talking about this severe threat order of protection bill, and we're not going to beat this one to death, other than to remind people that this is when you hear people talk about a red flag bill or a red flag law, this is exactly what we're talking about. So be on the lookout for that.
There's 2 or 3 other bills that have been introduced that deal with that same question too.
Correct.
But they're just not coming up yet.
Well, and also last session we had a bill that actually was passed by the Senate, but it was killed in the House. That would have been. It was actually even worse than the Brophy-McGee-Carter bill that's making the rounds now. Anyway, we've talked enough about those, and with that and about the English language learners, there were 2 other bills that promised to be controversial. And they were so controversial that they did not hear on them at all. One of them was HB 2252, and the short title for that is Land Management Federal Regulations Nullification. Now, this, I don't know why anybody would entertain the idea of having or introducing a bill such as this. It was introduced by Representative Blackman, District 6 up north at Flagstaff. And essentially, the way I look at this is almost like having the whole state be declared a a free zone or.
Well, Jose, I'm totally surprised at some of our legislators and what they're doing. There's also a companion bill, which is 2092. And basically what we're attempting to do, or the legislature is attempting to do here, is to nullify federal law governing federal lands in the state of Arizona, and I'm not at all sure just exactly how they feel that they can do that. But they mention the Federal Lands Policy Management Act in this bill and in the other bill also. And I have heard any number of times in speaking with different legislators that for some reason or other, they seem to feel that every square inch of land within the borders of the state of Arizona is actually Arizona land. And that is simply not true. By the Enabling Act, the people of the state of Arizona in the Enabling Act, and I'm going to read part of it here to you. Concurrent criminal jurisdiction hereby vested continues only as long as the United States continues to own or control the lands within these areas. And Section 20 of the Enabling Act provides that the people inhabiting said proposed state do agree and declare that they forever disclaim all right and title to the unappropriated and ungranted lands lying within the boundaries of Arizona. So that means that those lands that have not been granted by the Enabling Act remain the lands of the federal government. They are not under the control of the state, and any attempt by the legislature to try to nullify federal laws relating to federal land is just simply beyond the pale. You do not have the authority to do that, and that's what this bill attempts to do.
Well, folks, in case you haven't noticed, Archie is a recovering lawyer. So he just read a whole mumbo jumbo, but I think you get the idea as to what it is. Essentially, what this bill would have done, really, it would have made the whole state of Arizona a sanctuary state with regard to federal regulations and federal law. And these are some of the people who are supporting this bill are the same people who are up in arms about cities becoming a sanctuary city with respect to immigration laws. So it doesn't make any sense. Although this legislator happens to be from up north, District 6. Lots of federal lands up there, and they are not happy about the fact that they don't have much of a tax base. When the federal government owns 80-75% of the land, that leaves very little land that they can have for the tax base and so on. So they're not happy with that. But still, you cannot have the way I read this. If this were to pass, there will be a race as to who can get to the courts first to file a lawsuit against it. It's just going to be in courts all the time. So it could be a little bit of posturing here on part of Mr. Blackman. I don't know. So the result was the bill was not heard at all. Now we don't know. I don't know. I tried to find out if it was because it was scratched from the agenda or because the committee did not meet. Sometimes they just do not meet, and whatever was scheduled would be rescheduled for some other time. But I couldn't find that from the state website. The other bill that we thought would be kind of controversial, and I guess it was because the bill was held. It was scheduled for the House Elections Committee, and the bill is 2304, HB 2304, and the short title for it is Federal Only Ballots Paper Tabulation. And this was introduced by Representative Townsend. I believe she's in District 16. And what the bill does, very simply, is that it makes the ballots that can be voted via the federal registration part of a different color from the ones for the Arizona registration form. And I guess we need to explain why there is a difference. What happened was that a while back there was a lawsuit and it was settled with a compromise, and the compromise was that in Arizona you have a dual registration system. When you register to vote, you can have registration using a federal form, and the federal form does not require that you show proof of citizenship.
Correct.
And you can also use the state form, which for that you do need to show proof of citizenship. And the way it works out is that you can, if you register via the federal form, the only elections that you can participate in are federal elections, because the state, having some kind of autonomy as to these sorts of things, and because of the agreement, if you have the state, if you use the state form to register, you have to show proof of citizenship so you can vote in the federal and all the local and state elections. So that's why we have a dual system. The problem here that Representative Townsend is trying to alleviate is the fact that you have the bills that look alike. It's difficult to differentiate, and some people may be voting when they shouldn't be voting in a particular election. So it's having the different color would make it a lot easier to alleviate that.
Well, also, the different color is, if you have a contested office or a bill that comes up that has been voted on, then if it's a state matter, then you know that these different colored bills do not have to be pulled and it makes it much easier.
Much easier, and that's the reason behind it. Unfortunately, the bill was held. Now, to remind you one more time, if you want more information on all these bills, go to Facebook and search for AZRRT. And if you want more information in general about legislation in general, go to our website at azpeopleslobbyists.com. And now we're going to have a short break for commercial, and we'll be back in a few.